Welcome back for another scientist, my fourth grade entomologists. Entomologists are scientists who study insects, their environments, and their behaviors. We have a new organism to study. Today we are beginning investigation 1.2, designing an isopod environment. Do you know what isopods are? This week we're going to find out what isopods are, and we will learn about their preferred environments. If you haven't done so already, pause the video and make sure you have your science notebook and something to write with. Open your science notebook to the table of contents. Under the date column, you will write today's date, September 14th, 2020. The title of today's investigation is Designing an Isopod Environment. Under the activity column, you will write INV for investigation 1.2, Designing an Isopod Environment. The next clean page in my science notebook is page 9. So I will write page 9 under the page number column. Pause the video to make your table of contents look like mine. Next, turn to the page after figure 1, beetle drawing. Put the page number and write the title for today's lesson at the top of the page. Pause the video to make your investigation 1.2 page look like mine. The new organism we will study this week is called an isopod or isopods. Can you say isopod? Come on, don't be shy. You can say isopod. Perfect. I know your family loved hearing you say that. Your I can statement for today is, I can observe and compare isopods. We're going to be observing the isopod's structures and behaviors just like we did with our mealworms. Here are our isopods. Again, while we are in remote learning, you will look at pictures and videos of the organisms we will be studying. When we return to in-person learning, however, you will actually get to observe real organisms. You'll get to use your senses and touch them, look at them. I cannot wait for that to happen. If you're scared though, don't worry. Neither organism bites or stings. Isopods will not harm us, so we have to make sure that when we return to in-person learning, we are respectful of all our organisms and we do not harm them. So let's take a look at the pill bug. We're going to be comparing our isopods to the mealworms. So I hope you remember last week's lesson about our mealworm larvae that go through its life cycle, and eventually, after they pupate and become a pupa, they will turn into an adult darkling beetle. So we're going to have our isopod, the sow bug, and our other isopod, pill bugs. We will be comparing the sow bug and the pill bug to our mealworms. Here is a photo of a pill bug. Oh no, not again. There we go. When I was growing up, I called pill bugs roly-polies. Just like you observe the structures of mealworm larvae and darkling beetles, observe the structure of our pill bugs. How is it similar to the mealworm larva and darkling beetle? Take a look at it. Like the mealworm larva, it has antennae and short legs. Also has antennae just like the darkling beetle. It has a dark color like the darkling beetle. So how is it different? It's another picture of pill bugs. There's one that isn't rolled up, and here's one that is. I wonder why it is like that. Let's watch a couple of pill bugs to observe their behaviors. I'm going to play a video, and I want you to pay careful attention to its antennae and the pill bug that is rolled up. All right. What did you notice about the pill bugs that is different than our mealworm larva and darkling beetle? Well, pill bugs are shaped differently and have a domed shape. I'll show you what I mean in the next slide. Pill bugs, or in a later slide, pill bugs also move more slowly, relatively slowly, and roll up in a ball to protect themselves when they feel threatened. The second isopod we will look at are sow bugs. Whew, I thought for sure a Pokemon was going to show up. Okay, so how are sow bugs similar to the mealworm and darkling beetle? Well, like the mealworm larva and pill bug, it has antennae and it has short legs. It has a dark color like the pill bug and darkling beetle. How is it different? Is it too much to ask to just teach my entomologist in peace without having Pokemon? All right, back to our lesson. What did you notice about the sow bugs that is different than mealworms and pill bugs? Well, sow bugs are relatively flat. And they have powerful antennae to sense their environment. Right here, look at that. Looks a little bit longer than any of the antennae we've seen before, right? Sow bugs use their antennae if they get flipped over. Entomologists call this righting itself. Whenever it goes from being upside down to right side up, righting itself. So the next time you see a bug flipped on the wrong side, please help right it if it cannot do so itself, like our sow bugs. Let's take a look at the sow bug. We're going to watch another video, and I want you to notice how the sow bug rights itself. I also want you to see if the pill bug will do the same thing. It's our sow bug, and here's our pill bug. All right. So the video moved really quickly, but I hope you were able to see the difference between our sow bugs, which are relatively flat, just like this, with the powerful antennae that they use to help right itself. And our pill bugs, did you notice that they weren't able to turn over without help from the spoon? They're not able to right themselves. Their antennae aren't as long and aren't as powerful as the sow bug's antennae. So in today's lesson, we observed the structures and behaviors of our isopods. This isopod is a pill bug, and this isopod is a sow bug. Let's take a look at our questions about our isopod observations. What did you know about isopods before you observed them? Well, I didn't know that pill bugs and sow bugs were isopods. I'd seen them before, but I did not know that they were classified as isopods. Second question, what did you find out about isopods by observing them? Maybe this was the first time you saw a sow bug right itself. You remember what that means? It means whenever it turns itself over, in case it gets flipped upside down. Let's look at question number 3 and question number 4. What differences, if any, did you observe in the structures or behaviors of the isopods? So I want you to think, how is the sow bug different from the pill bug? Do you notice anything different about the structure or the way that they behave? Think about how they moved. Think about what they did when they were flipped on their backs or on the wrong side. Let's take a look at the last question right here. What questions do you have about isopod structures and their functions, or about isopod behavior? I wonder what living and non-living environmental factors are going to affect our isopods. Remember at the beginning of the lesson, I said later this week, we're going to be taking a look at their preferred environments. So be thinking about what environmental factors they will like, maybe which ones they won't like. Remember, our mealworms didn't like the cold. So in today's science, under today's science instructions, you will go and complete a Jamboard. We will answer the questions that we just took a look at. They will all be on the Jamboard. It is important that all of our fourth grade entomologists make their isopod observations, because later this week, with your parents' permission, of course, you will get a chance to observe characteristics of living things near your home. Maybe you will find some isopods, or maybe you'll find some gastropods, also known as snails, like some of the students I saw included in their terrariums. I cannot wait to learn with you tomorrow and the rest of this week. Have an awesome Osprey day.